Will you keep their secrets? Someone is ashamed now of how they treated you because they've seen you do better. Like, this is someone who, I'm sorry to say, had a very low opinion of you. It made them feel good about themselves to have that low opinion, but you have proven them wrong. You can do better, and now they feel like you deserve better. They've really have been proven wrong. When I say that, it's like they have seen signs, they have seen things about you that make them realize they said things they shouldn't have said. And now they fear retaliation or retribution of some sort, just some kind of justice. Really, it's like they know they deserve it. They know there are things they shouldn't have said, but they also know that maybe things wouldn't be doing so well for you now if they hadn't said them. Meaning, sometimes it's good when bridges are burnt. It makes you go other places. And that's what I'm getting here, is that this is someone who really trashed you to the point where maybe you don't even realize, like cost you jobs, gave you bad reference, all kinds of stuff. Bad-mouthed you to anyone who would listen, really. Anytime they heard your name. Don't date that person. Don't help that person. Just really said things that now they regret because they think you know things about them. Wow. Keep doing better. Look, things are getting better because you're doing better. Don't stoop to their level. Rise above. Rise above. You'll be blessed for that. Forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. That's what Jesus is trying to tell you. That's how karma works. If you release this debt, it's not just for you, it's for the other person as well. I used to think it was just for you, and that's what a lot of people think. But spiritually, it's really for the other person as well, because you're not holding a debt with that person. And I know it sounds crazy, but I've heard other spiritual people explain this. It's really like karma is like a ledger book, the cross, two signs of a ledger, T account, debit on the left, credit on the right. Jesus, hanging on the cross, represents the ledger of your life. Sorry, I do have an accounting background. Sorry if some people don't understand what I'm talking about there, but I need to do a deep dive on that sometime. But if you just wipe that account clean, like instead of saying this person owes you something, like that account's receivable, that's what it means. That's an asset on your balance sheet for you to say, you know what, this person still owes me. They have a debt on my books. I need to collect that debt. That's going to be in your assets called accounts receivable. If you just say, you know what, this person doesn't owe me anything, it'll release their karma. It'll release that connection, and it'll add to your good karma. It'll add to the forgiveness. It'll just wipe that slate clean. It'll simplify your balance sheet. Sorry again if that goes all over people's heads, because I actually love balance sheets. I used to do those for a living. Balance sheets and income statements. But like this, it's funny here because this is sort of reminding me too. This looks like a graph, like some kind of financial graph in a way. But it's like the ledger of your heart. It's like income related to your heart. Profits are going up. Really, I'm just getting that this person would be surprised. Like, your karma is just going to get better and better if you release that debt. And just trust that whatever you release, that you're just going to get it back tenfold, just from some other source. It doesn't have to be this person. It's going to be paid back to you in some other way. You came here to experience that. I know it sounds crazy, but when I realized that and started doing it myself, my life changed. It doesn't mean you need to reach out to people and say you don't owe me anything. It just means you can release it spiritually, in prayer, meditation, in your thoughts. You can just imagine yourself releasing it, and then imagine good things happening for that person. I know, that's crazy, but I just told you the keys to the kingdom. Right about this, radiate positivity, and you are spiritually gifted. It's funny that came out when I said I just gave you the keys to the kingdom. Write about this. Write good things. Do you know how powerful words are? Powerful. You are spiritually gifted. Now, look, there has to be negativity. I'm not trying to say toxic positivity here with this radiate positivity card. But I mean, there's already enough negatives. You got to use positivity to counteract that negative. If you write about this, don't write yourself into a depression. Write it in a good way. I have learned the hard way that you can manifest things and change your entire world by writing it, especially as soon as the characters, like let's say you're writing a fictional story, when the characters get up and start walking around and all of a sudden the words just kind of end up on the page and you don't know how, that's manifestation. There's magic going on there. And then suddenly your life starts having these weird little glitches, like you wrote it into existence, like that movie. There was a movie, what's it called? Stranger Than Fiction, is that what it's called? It had Will Ferrell. I'm not going to look up the name, but it was a movie where he was writing and then like his reality started changing to suit the writing. Yeah. Hollywood's trying to tell us. You're spiritually gifted. Write about it. I want you to really understand, like, just, you know what? How about let your mind go. Just pretend that you just heard me say something crazy and it's not even true. Okay. Just let your mind go anyway. And write for 30 minutes a fictional story about something really good happening in your life. About, really, I think the best way to do it is the epilogue method, is what I call it. Neville Goddard and others will say, it is done, it is finished, like Jesus hanging on a cross, okay? Write a story, a fictional story, yes. Yes, there's magic in this, yes. Bible's trying to tell you this. Write a story where you already have the thing. Like I always say, write a story where you're sitting down with one of your best friends or someone you miss, someone you want to get along with, someone you enjoy, okay? You would celebrate with after you get whatever the thing is that you want. Like, let's say you're manifesting a nice house. Envision a scene where you already have the house and you invite someone over for dinner. Maybe you're grilling out. Maybe you live on a lake and you're having a picnic by the lake. But what are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you talking about? That transfers your consciousness, your avatar, all the senses into that thought form. Everything's a thought form. Just envision an imaginary scenario where you and your friend or someone are just having a good time, eating, drinking, their taste, work in all the senses, including two maybe that you don't know about, vestibular and proprioception. You can look that up, but it just means like the characters are sort of getting up, walking around, balancing, making decisions, walking. When the characters really start getting up and making decisions, that's when you know you got it. And it happens like it's like writing down a daydream. You are thankful for the abundance that always flows your way. Think about what that means. Think about writing a story where you were like, you know what? I saw this crazy lady online say that you can manifest your life this way, and I didn't believe her. But guess what? I did it and it worked anyway. Isn't that crazy? See, I just gave you something to write about. Write about it. What are you eating, drinking? Where are you? What's it feel like that day? What clothes are you wearing? Anyway, you are thankful for the abundance that always flows your way. It is spoken, it is written, and so it is. Amen.